See? Bhavatītam Triguna-rahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nithyanandam, we welcome all of you to today's exciting episode on Nithyananda TV. I am Sri Ananda Maharaj, and here with us, as every day, Sri Nithyananda Maharaj. Nithyananda Maharaj. Yes. And today we welcome all of you to this very special occasion, very grand celebration that we are bringing to all the viewers from Kailasa. Today is the day of Chithirai Onam Nataraja Mahabhishekam, which is one of the 6 grand Abhishekams, Mahabhishekams that are offered to Nataraja Swami, who is Paramashiva himself in his most graceful, most beautiful form of Nataraja. And we will be talking throughout this episode about who is Nataraja, why do we celebrate, what is the significance of this Nataraja Mahabhishekam celebrated on this day and 6 times a year in total. And but the context, also bring to all the viewers the context, because every day we speak about some topic which is related to the current affairs and which is something which is talked about in the society, which the people are going through, what they are talking about, the conversation happening in the society. And as we are going along these days, we are talking about the whole changing civilizational paradigm, right? How the churning and real evolution and breakthrough in a way is happening in the whole narrative and discourse. Even in the West, especially in the US,
that are done at this time in the temples are for the prosperity as well as the health of everyone, and ultimately it cools us all down. The whole cooling part that is kept above the Shivalinga has the effect of cooling Paramashiva himself. And Hinduism reveals that when the Achyavataras manifest, that their breathing space is literally kilometers in length. Like how we have breathing space that maybe 5 meters this way. But this way, daily breathing space is 25 kilometers. Yeah, the Kailas and Nithyananda Shambhalinga, his breathing space is 25 kilometers. In the same way, within that breathing space, you will see a difference when the Kumbhas place, when the Abhishekams are done, when the water is poured. Immediate effect, the clouds start covering, things start happening, and people experience a transcendence into a space of
all these all these will have an actual impact in the real world, in your own life, in the surrounding areas, in the whole society. As well, we offer the, these rituals, right, directly links us connect with the ultimate consciousness, Paramashiva himself, in any form that we are resonating with. So all these rituals have that, and these rituals are directly given and instructed by Paramashiva himself, right? And with the initiation, especially of Guru, and in our case, the incarnation of Paramashiva himself, Supreme Point of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam, with that space, with the energy, with that powerfulness of the initiation that he gives us, connecting with the divine just becomes Yes, Nityananda, welcome back. Apologize for the technical glitch. Yes, Maharaj, you were talking about the cosmic dance Paramashiva as Nataraja. What that's in general, at the spiritual level, and even at the context of our day-to-day activities, lifestyle, especially violence and so much of negativity that is in the world today.
It is in those days that and people like Patanjali, Anugraha, even Samhara, many of the animals thought the Shravana as, and it is just it is a cosmic level. It's an event that happens in multiple planes. Multiple Hinduism is very clear. It says many things are there, including Nataraja's dance. Nataraja's dance has the ability to cut across the multiple dimensions of the cosmos. Hence, that is why he calls it is such a phenomenon that can cut across the dimensions. Means every part of the cosmos can experience that. No matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, you can have this. It's just the whole breathing space of Paramashiva. He just decides to dance, and you can see the joy in the air. The whole place is elevated, and that's where the cosmos is taken and he comes and he happens and he manifests. It is happening in every, it's the 6 times a year that we celebrate him and celebrate his death, celebrate. So as he was saying, he does the creation it is a rattle drum. Literally, the supreme conduct of Hinduism is saying that the modern science has also taken this as the parallel universe understanding, and with that whole science, rattling creates the process, and there's so much of significance in saying the sound. It is from sound only that creation happens from the pranava, from the om, and like that, the rattling of the drum created actually at that time, which are the original raw sounds, and from those sounds, and refine them. Like how you have a crude oil. You take crude oil and refine it into gasoline. The same way he took those sounds, refine them into the Sanskrit aksharas that we have. Hence, the language of Sanskrit is so much rooted in Shristhi, rooted in creation itself. It is so grounded into the reality of the world and its creation. Then the sustenance. He does the sustenance and the protection by bringing up him this assurance that he's there, he will be protecting. And then has the Agni. And the Agni in one hand, the Agni is the rejuvenation, is the Samhara. It comes taking the old and bringing the space for new things to happen, the rejuvenation, that's the continuous space. And then he has one kept down. A big part of our family's life, and you can just imagine. As Venkateshwara Swami, and we're going to be having
like every Hindu temple, the main deities will definitely be there,
Yes.
but all the other deities will also be there, celebrating the whole entire Hindu pantheon.
And one more thing I have to mention, there's Ganapati, and it's a unique form of Ganapati. There is Tandava Ganapati.
Really?
Yes, you
Wow.
will never find the Tandava Ganapati dancing form of Ganesha there, but there is a beautiful, tall, 9-foot tall Ganapati of Tandava Ganapati, and he's just beautifully dancing there. It's just dancing along with Paramashiva.
I think viewers should really get an opportunity to see and live and enjoy the rituals that are happening in the temple, right? So we will be showing, isn't it, today?
Yes. Today we'll be having the opportunity to have the darshan of Ananda Nataraja and have the darshan of his Abhishekam here in the Kailasa in Seattle temple.
Yes.
And beautifully through the internet and through the live TV, we'll be able to see Nataraja's Abhishekam happen.
Yes.
And the other temples, of course, so many Kailasas will be joining, offering their Abhishekam to Nataraja. And it is even a beautiful time, even the Guru Mahasannidhanams even sit and do the ritual to Nataraja. And the whole cosmos is dancing. The whole cosmos is literally celebrating, and you can literally be in that space. I mean,
Yes.
it is the time when we need to really do the responsible act and really put ourselves in tune with what is going on around us. That is the only what is going to help raise the whole consciousness of the humanity to come out of violent tendencies and violent patterns.
Yes. In fact, that is the very way. Just by witnessing the ritual, people think online, what will happen online? But online is the way even the Supreme Point of Hinduism has demonstrated. It even initiates people online. So it is possible, because ultimately it's all about the inner space, which is connected, which is one. Right? So even having darshan, it has that power to invoke our superconscious DNA itself and make us manifest the ultimate space of Paramadvaita. And that's exactly what happens when we witness these rituals live that is happening. For example, the Abhishekam to Nataraja Swami that will happen. As we were discussing the problems of violence and domestic violence, gun violence, it is basically when you are describing this beautiful form, it was like that Apasmasura.
Yes.
What we are possessed by, right?
Yes.
Completely forgetting our blissful nature, true blissful nature, and just going into delusion and violence and anger and frustration and taking it out with vengeance against other people. This whole thing is nothing but forgetfulness of our true identity. And just by witnessing this auspicious ritual, this celebration, literally when we offer Abhishekam to Nataraja, we are in a way giving the vote to our right inner space, remembering that who we really are. We are Nataraja himself. Yes. And he is the one who is dancing always in our inner space, right? Chidambara is actually inside us. It is our own inner space. It is not just that physical manifestation. That's how it starts. That's just this shell, right? But the real thing is that the truth, which is that Paramashiva is residing always inside us with and performing this beautiful cosmic dance, the Ananda Tandava, and invoking, remembering that cognition and reigniting that cognition inside us, and then manifesting that bliss. And obviously, once you start manifesting bliss in your life, you will not even think about any violence.
Yes.
Not even thought at the level of the thought.
Paramashiva is causeless bliss.
Yes.
The way that Swamiji, when he comes into our lives, the way he just shows that as a possibility. And he's such a vibrant expression of that possibility, of Nityananda, of just causelessly, for no reason, out of nowhere, that bliss, that eternal bliss, that inexhaustible energy just lands, and he becomes an embodiment of it. I mean, all of us who are fortunate to see Paramashiva in the living form of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism have been able to see how that bliss can just be embodied in a form. And all of those who are and connected to Swamiji will understand how literally he is Nataraja. He is the one who is manifesting this whole cosmos and beautifully just doing it joyfully as a leela, as a dance. And that is what we will be celebrating and having the darshan of, right?
Yes.
In a few moments.
We will be witnessing the Abhishekam happening to Paramashiva in the form of Nataraja, the beautiful Nataraja deity that is 12 feet tall Nataraja deity, which is there in the Seattle, Kailasa in Seattle, along with Shivakama Sundari, Devi Paramashiva Shakti herself, and the living manifestation of Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. All of these together, we will be offering our respects, our devotion, and our gratitude and love, and worshipping them on this auspicious occasion of Chithirai Onam Nataraja Mahabhishekam. Yes. Again, with one of the 6 Mahabhishekams, because for 1 year for us is 1 day, and Agama says in 1 day we have to offer 6 Abhishekams to Paramashiva, which is there as a part, as a rule, right, in the law. Yes. For us, it is 1 year, because in the Devaloka, in the higher planes, it is there 1 day. And Chidambaram, even the tradition, as the tradition of the Chidambaram temple, it doesn't consider itself as a Bhuloka plane. It is Kailasa itself there manifesting. That's why even the ritual is performed in that plane. Yes. Right? So that's why this is one of the most auspicious occasions of the Mahabhishekam, one of the 6 Mahabhishekams that happens to, that is performed to Paramashiva in the form of Sri Nataraja Swami. And we will be witnessing this auspicious and grand celebration today.
And there's so much to explain. I mean, when you spend time around the deities and do the seva, that is the opportunity that the Supreme Pontiff is giving in Kailasa. Just remembering them, just remembering how they are, because this person of the deity that is there in Seattle was personally handcrafted by Swami.
Wow!
It was made with his own hands. Every inch and every detail is just perfection. I'm telling you, the way that he holds his upper body up, and the way it's just the whole cosmos capsulated in one moment in time. You will not be able to understand. And I've seen myself doing, and I've seen so many of us doing, just sitting at the feet of Nataraja and just seeing him. And all of you can also join us and just celebrate Nataraja as we get ready for the darshan. Let's prepare ourselves. Let's get ourselves ready. You can also in this time, if you have Nataraja deity, keep him in front of you. And let's do the.
Or even a Shivlinga, if you have, you can offer Abhishekam to him.
Connect with Paramashiva in these moments. It's the best thing to do.
Yes.
And if you are ready to offer to anything to Nataraja, to offer anything at these auspicious moments, whenever we do dana, whenever we do the imparting of our wealth, it is the most auspicious time, because we get the maximum amount of benefits, especially the spiritual benefits at this time, because dana ultimately is an imparting of our wealth. So whenever it is done at auspicious moments, it is just magnified by Paramashiva. This just swallows all of our karmas at that time. All of those just get swallowed by him. And dana, we have done so much in the last talking about annadana. But any dana of your physical wealth, it is an imparting of that which is close to you. It isn't a charity. Many people think it is a charity that you must give $5. I need to give my part. I need to do my part. It's a duty. It's a weird. It's a really odd narrative, Maharaj. Actually, I need to do my duty. I need to give something. That isn't the narrative. That actually is there in the Shastras. The Shastras describe dana as an imparting of what is most close to you. In fact, the story of Vaji Shravas is this thing. The story of Nachiketa is where it is at, where his father wasn't even giving away the things that he loves. He was giving away useless things. He was literally having a garage sale of his kingdom and telling that he will do Ashwamedha Yaga and invoke so much of auspiciousness in the kingdom. The Ashwamedha Yaga is the Mahayagas that invoke so much of auspiciousness in the kingdom and in the country. To do that, correct selfless sacrifice has to be done by those who are responsible, the kings. And they must impart with that which they are going to have a hard time imparting. Oh, this is mine, I and mine. All those things are what need to be imparted with. And what we hold close to ourselves, our wealth, our assets, are the things that we work so hard to create. Those become a part of us, and we have a karmic clinging to them. It is in these times and in these opportunities that we just relieve ourselves of this karmic load and this punya. Wealth is punya. It is anyway what we are blessed with. We have the wealth we have because Paramashiva has showered on us, and it is in our duty to give back this gratitude. So just inviting everyone in these auspicious moments to offer your donations to Kailasa, to the whole revival that the Supreme Bond of Hinduism is doing. Literally setting up so many ecosystems where it is possible for people to connect with Nataraja, connect with the deities. This whole revival, you want to support it, just scan the QR code below or go to the link below that is presented and register for the Nataraja Mahabhishekam and give your donations, and let us all in these moments serve Nataraja in every way possible. The whole 9 months, the whole story is tell that everybody prepares for Nataraja Abhishekam. You see, the whole city in Chidambaram is alive right now. We cannot create, we want to be able to somehow create the sounds and the vibrations that those sounds create of the elephants, of the people, of the music, of the instruments, of all the animals and all. Everything is just a rejoicing in that city. And that is that vibrance that it is in every way, in every sense. And even the Yagashala pujas are happening where the fire ritual is, where Paramashiva is invoked in Agni, and those mantras, the Veda mantras, literally when Sanskrit, the Veda mantras are chanted, the whole pranic layer of the whole surroundings is elevated to Chidambaram. Yeah. And it is in Chidambaram where all of these powerful energies are being invoked, where Nataraja is going to get ready to dance. And everybody is like, Nataraja is going to dance. And personally, if you see, even in the lives of many of the young girls who learn Bharatanatyam, learn the traditional dance, Nataraja is their god. And before they do start the puja, they'll do the puja to Nataraja, the very anklets that they have. They'll take those anklets, keep it at his feet, do the prayer, because he is the Lord of dance for them. So they'll take his blessings and only start the ritual. That's the way. When it comes to Nataraja, it's this. When they dance, it's him dancing. That's how they do.
It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. In fact, just connecting through this ritual of Nataraja Mahabhishekam, being in that space and offering the seva yourself, not just witnessing as a spectator, but actually participating as one of the yajamans, right? And offering the seva, it just takes you to the another level altogether, because now you are literally becoming like a channel through which this whole dharma chakra is now coming out and getting sustained on the planet Earth. And this gives us so much of karmic advantage. All our karmas are burnt and we completely get taken to the next level of superconscious breakthrough altogether just by having darshan of Nataraja Swami and seeing and offering the Abhishekam, literally offering the Abhishekam ourselves. So this is one of those golden opportunities for all of us to literally become a participant, an active participant in the performing these rituals, which are acts which sustain the dharma on planet Earth, which give a breakthrough to us, not just individually, even collectively at a societal level. When we are talking about all this negativity as apasmasura, right? The whole delusion that is spread, not just in us, but in the entire society. These rituals are the very important, we can say, milestones which literally trigger the whole positive thought current and the superconscious thought current, which just melts the whole negativity inside us and outside us. So that's why these rituals are so important, especially when we talk about this very grand, very powerful ritual of Nataraja Mahabhishekam. So this is an opportunity for all of us to offer and become and offer the seva ourselves. And if you want, if you are interested, if you feel that you personally want to donate and be a part of this Nataraja Abhishekam seva and offer the ritual to Nataraja Swami, please scan the QR code which is being projected at the bottom of the screen, and offer and make a donation in whatever capacity you can, but become a part, an active participant in these rituals and this whole awakening and those whole revival that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is doing by creating the Kailasa ecosystems everywhere. Because due to these ecosystems, temple-based ecosystems, is he really reviving Sanatana Hindu Dharma on planet Earth. And so much of powerfulness is radiated on the planet, in the community, in the human society with these temple ecosystems. And the Kailasa in Seattle is one of the most powerful enlightenment ecosystems that we have, that because of the gift of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. So if you want to be a part of this revival, if you want to offer the seva of Nataraja Mahabhishekam, if you want to support Kailasa, any of these aspects, if you want to be an active participant, please scan the donation QR code. Please scan the donation QR code and offer the seva. Become an active participant. Yes.
Yes. And there's so much actually. The Shivagama Sundari Devi that is there actually. She's there as part of Nataraja himself. Whenever Nataraja manifests, he manifests with Shivagama Sundari. Literally, whenever Shiva comes, Shakti always manifests with him. And Shivagama Sundari is there with Nataraja in Seattle. And this deity also was personally handmade by Swamiji. And it was actually his passion for making these has been like since he was a small boy. He was a small boy. He would take the soapstone and he would carve the deities in the soapstone and worship them, invoke them, and do the whole puja. And then when after he has had enlightenment and grown up and had the whole mission, at that time also the same passion has moved on, but in a bigger way, literally making temples around the world. And Shivagama Sundari, he had, for this particular Devi, he had literally revived one particular science of carving that never existed before. Wow. Literally looking at the Shastras, he had to bring out that particular way of, it is a timed kind of act, because when the deity comes out of the mold, you need to have, there's a particular amount of time that you need to do the action of making the carving. Yes. So, and it has to be done in a very precise way. And so many details of how this Devi is made. I remember when Swamiji had blessed this Devi to come for the Seattle temple, that she said that this Devi has literally been a manifestation of himself. And Devi is literally there in Shivagama Sundari is literally there breathing. If you say, you take a thread, put it next to her nose, she will be breathing. You can see her. And it's a powerful Devi, Shivagama Sundari.
Yes, so much of it's just powerfulness. When Paramashiva himself is sculpting his own deity, and when Devi herself is sculpting her own deity, what kind of powers will they manifest when the puja is offered, when Abhishekam is offered to them by the devotees? So this is just different level of conversation we can have about this whole ecosystem, because the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who is the manifestation, the living manifestation of Paramashiva Shakti, and he himself is sculpting these deities, literally infusing his own being into them. And when we offer Abhishekam to them, so much of benefit, and so much of spiritual benefits in actual real world, tangible, whatever, practical, whatever you want to call it, these benefits will just simply manifest in our life. Be it in the case of health, wealth, mental health, physical health, anything, any problems that we are facing, any incompletions which we are facing, all of those will just melt away when we are just celebrating, having the darshan and enjoying the rituals, offering the rituals, in fact. And yes, Manas, it's just a huge list of benefits. I can just go on and on.
Yes,
yes. And also the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism reviving this Hindu science of sculpting.
Yes.
That's also one of the ideas that was coming in my head.
Yeah.
He's literally reviving the whole Hindu science of sculpting, how you make the deities. It's actually a science, right?
Yes.
Samudrika Lakshana.
Yes.
Each and every measurement has to be the same as given in the Shastras.
Yes,
right?
and it isn't an orchestra as much as it is a passion. Because we know that the whole temple science isn't something that is just to display the excellence or the intelligence that somebody could have. Supreme Order of Hinduism is very clear that all of the temple sciences are a power manifestation in themselves. Literally, to be able to create another life, create a deity. The same 16 samskaras that are done for a human being are done for these idols. The 16 samskaras from the creating the embryo, from the making the embryo to the birth, and then namakaranam, which is giving the name, then giving the aksharabhyasam, giving the first letters, teaching the baby language, and then giving the first food to the deity for the baby. All these are also done to a deity, and we have seen beautifully at the Supreme Pontiff do each and every one of these 16 samskaras that are offered and that are done to the deity, and literally making a person, making a being, a conscious, enlightened being. It is a tremendous amount of energy that is done, that is happens when prana pratishta is done. It isn't, and when it happens, the deities literally breathe. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism said that we should be able to prove through Kirlian photography that once the deity has manifested, the aura that is can be captured of the deity, the corneal electromagnetic emissions from the deity will be different. And those are shown in the photography as pictures or auras around the image. And that is what is the Kirlian photography. And that shows that the deity has manifested, and it is there, and it is breathing, and it can be there for time immemorial, for forever and ever. And we have, of course, also the deities in just like how in Chidambaram temple, the deities of Vyagrabhada and Patanjali, who are there to witness the darshan, witness the dance of Nataraja. And then we have Nandi, and also we have the deity of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. He is the reviver. He is the one who is Paramashiva for us today.
Yes.
And for us, he is the one who we want to worship all the time, because we see him we see his deity, we see the embodiment of Swamiji, and we see Paramashiva as living with us. And whenever we connect with the deity of Swamiji, we always want to pour out our love. We always want to share that, to give our gratitude that, hey, because of you today, I had this happen to me. Because of this one satsang, because of this one click. So he's the one we live with, we celebrate with. And Nataraja, of course, comes every 2 months and we can have a celebration with him. But our daily worship, our Guru Puja, is at his Divine Bliss. So the deity of Swamiji is also there, along with in Chidambaram's temple there is, of course, Venkateshwara or Sriman Narayana is also there, Mahavishnu is there, Arandhama is there as the Govindaraj Perumal. And there's so many rahasyas to talk about Chidambaram temple.
That's what I was coming to. I was thinking about mentioning this.
Yes,
the whole Chidambaram ecosystem has some secrets. Right?
Yes.
That's something which keeps the whole curiosity alive. The connection, it gives it a completely new dimension, right? And how this whole tradition of secrecy, that the ultimate, the Garbha Mandir, right? Nobody can see. There is no photography or nothing that is allowed, and people cannot really see what the whole and the way the live, the way we are showing. But from the Chidambaram temple, it cannot be shown. The whole secrecy that is maintained about the core ecosystem, the womb of that whole temple, of that whole ecosystem, it reinforces the powerfulness. It reinforces the connection that people have with Nataraja, with Paramashiva, right? What do you want to add to this whole secrecy, this tradition of secrecy? Because for me, it just makes me even more curious.
Yes, there is a part of the Garbha, the sanctum of the Chidambaram temple, that is worshipped. That literally Paramashiva is there worshipped as Ambara. Chidambara means Chida, means literally Akasha. Actually, the element of Akasha is what is worshipped. The Paramashiva is worshipped in 5 different sthalas, 5 different kshetras in Bharata. In those 5, he is worshipped in the 5 elements itself. These are called the Panchabhuta sthalas. And Chidambaram represents the ether or the space element where Paramashiva exists in the very space. And of course, Arunachala, Paramashiva is there in Arunachaleshwara, and he is there literally as Agni. He is the Agni Linga. So the Agni Linga is there in Tiruonam, and in Chidambaram he is there as Akasha. The Akasha Linga is there, and he is literally worshipped as the space there. At least, and what I know, there is a golden bilva garden that is just kept there that represents his very space. It is not even that it is like, if you want to ornament space, how you will do if you want to ornament the space, it is literally kept as a torana, like how people have for their houses. They keep the garlands on the door, on the threshold before you enter. It is said to be literally garlanding the Vastu Purusha, the Purusha of the God that is there in the house. That is what Torana represents. But when it comes to Chidambara, the garland is the golden bilva, and he's literally there. The whole Akasha is just that string of bilva. Just seeing that, you can know he's there. And of course, there's so many yantras and so many energy centers here and there. And there is even the secret of where I don't remember exactly, but the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism told that the direction with which the feet or the hand of Govindaraja Perumal and the foot of Nataraja are pointed to one place, that is where Chidambaram also is there. So there's so many secrets. There's so many secrets, there's so many energy capsules there.
A lot of encoding and encryption happening in this ecosystem.
It is like a treasure hunt to find the best and the most powerful sites in the powerful places, and just do your experiments there. And because these temples are not simply like somebody had built it like how you built another house. These are come from different lokas. People and Gandharvas and artisans come from different lokas to come and manifest and make these temples happen. That is why they even tell like Dwaraka even came from the different lokas. The manifestations are not engineering marvels. There's just a manifestation of celestial beings coming and offering their gratitude to Paramashiva. That is the way that these temples are built. And the Chidambaram is like that. As I said, it's the Akasha. He's there. He's known as Vyomakesha. Literally, his Sharira is literally the body is the Akasha itself. And then he's known as the one who is there in everything. Literally, because the Akasha element, like Maharaj, it is the most subtle, and it is there existing between everything, between you and me, between the cells, between the atoms, subatomic particles. Akasha is there. So it is most pervasive element, Akasha. So that is why even Nataraja is worshipped as that, and he's called Hambalavana, the one who is all pervasive, literally inside every single part, between every single thing. That is the way that they celebrate him, and the way even he manifests Nataraja. So many times the way the atom dances and does its the electrons going around is also the creation in itself.
Yes.
That is also symbolized in Nataraja's.
You know what is interesting, Maharaj? The modern science, as of now, at least till date, understands the whole space as something dead. It's a vacuum, right? There's nothingness there. In that, some matter and some particles come and do something, and some matter is formed. But the space itself, they're considering as dead. This is completely new understanding, which has been there for tens of thousands of years, given by Paramashiva himself, that he is the one who is manifesting in that space as well. It is that core energy which may not be visible in the first place, but he is the one who is vibrating in that space element, Akasha, and from that emerges the entire creation. Yes. Even the latest developments in modern science, I was going through whatever I know, little I know, this whole the quantum field theory, ultimately everything comes from a space. There's a field, and from that field some vibrations are emerging, and from that the particles are emerging. From those particles ultimately matter in whatever form we see emerges. Yes. We see that even the modern science is beginning to touch and go towards that.
The Vedas themselves say Akasha, Vayu, Agni,
exactly.
And then Aushadaya, Annam. So all the whole sequence, as you're saying, just started with from the field, the particles are created. In the same way, from the Akasha, from the space, the air and the fire and all these elements are created.
So much Hinduism can offer, even the understanding of the modern science. Give even the modern science a breakthrough, complete breakthrough in their understanding. Because even the modern science has been more or less stuck. It's not really moving that fast as it used to, as it did in the early 20 to 30 years of the 20th century, right? With all these big scientists coming. But now it's really slow and really very gradual pace it is happening. Whole breakthrough can happen to this whole field of modern science, of physics, of quantum physics, gravitation, all of these things with Hinduism, with the knowledge of the Vedas and Agamas, all these secrets that are there in the temples, in the ecosystem. Because temples are not just worship centers for Hindus, right? They are literally the place where God Himself resides. And all these sciences are kept alive in the temples themselves. All the science, be it arts, be it science, be it physics, be it chemistry, be it metallurgy, sculpting, as we know, as we just were talking about, all of these different dimensions of Hinduism. Temples are the places where the energy centers which have kept all these sciences alive, around which the whole ecosystem has been kept alive. And that's what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is doing. He's reviving these temple-based ecosystems. Even the Kailasa in Seattle, it started with the temple. It started with the Nataraja deity, right? That was the core, that is the seed. And then the Nataraja himself, Paramashiva himself, manifests the whole ecosystem. All these sciences, everything just comes as a byproduct. He is the core, he is the seed, right? And who is the one who invoked him? Is the Paramavatara of Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, who established that Kailasa there, the ecosystem, the temple ecosystem. So that's the significance of the work that he's doing of reviving Sanatana Hindu Dharma on planet Earth, of reviving these temple ecosystems, all these rituals, everything taking people on board, giving them a breakthrough when they enjoy. They don't just enjoy, they don't just entertain. It's not just entertainment, it's enlightenment itself that they get by all these temple-based ecosystems. And again, today, people are going to witness, right, this auspicious celebration, and which will literally trigger the same superconscious breakthrough in their life, which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is here to give. And if you are interested in being an active participant and offering the seva of today, the Nataraja Mahabishekam seva, and please scan the donation QR code which is projected at the bottom of the screen, and make as much as donation as you like, but be a part of this whole process, be a part of this revival and the whole Dharma Chakra that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving on the planet Earth. So many various dimensions we can talk about. It's so enjoyable, right?
Just anticipating and getting ready to see. Actually, it is in this waiting itself that that passive whatever comes. It is the Supreme Pontiff again and again tells us, and if you see even the examples of many of the nine Mars and saints, it is in the deep waiting. When you're ready to ultimately wait for Paramashiva to manifest. That is when he manifests.
So many saints just say meditation is what? It is just waiting. Just wait. Just relax. He will come.
He will come. It's just a surrender and a trust. It's gonna happen. He will come. So in the same way, we can invoke their same sentiments, and as we get ready to see the Nataraja Abhishekam from all of the Kailasa's temples. And it is so many things are there to mention even about the Chidambaram temple there. There's a roof literally made of golden tiles. Do you know?
Really?
Yes, the whole roof of the
solid
temple.
gold.
Yes, the sabha. Nataraja has 6 sabhas that are there inside.
Another important aspect which we can talk about.
There are 6 sabhas inside the Nataraja's temple, and there's Ananda Sabha, and each of the sabhas actually different parts of the year when
Chit Sabha, Raja Sabha, Ananda Sabha, Nrit Sabha,
Deva
Sabha.
In fact, for Kailasa, these sabhas are the very houses of governance.
Exactly.
In the same way,
whole Hindu
the
parliament
Supreme Pontiff
structure.
has marked the Kailasa of the Chidambaram's halls, and said that this is the original. It is the original way that the whole Paramashiva did the governance of the cosmos itself, and through these various sabhas, and that is how Nataraja comes, and when he manifests, he literally dances in the Kanaka Sabha, in the Chit Sabha, and he houses himself in the Chit Sabha, and it is in that above the Chit Sabha, the Vimanam, the roof is literally golden capped. It's having the golden tiles like golden bricks you don't see anywhere. It is like people were searching for gold in the wrong part of the world hundreds of years ago. It is all there.
Thank God they didn't come there.
It is all there. The wealth is there. It's all offered and it is ornamented on the deities. It is on the deities because for us, the essence of our life, whatever we love, whatever we enjoy, that is only given to the deities. And that is what the most precious stones, the most precious metals, those are all offered to Paramashiva in the form of the deity. So, in the same way, the most precious things in our life, if we don't even cognize that, we need these beautiful sentiments. You may be hearing so many of these sentiments, like as we discussed waiting, as we discussed this, recognizing Paramashiva and everything around you.
Yes.
These sentiments, we may not have these as an immediate desire, immediate experience in our lives, but the intention is there. But a desire is there to have such bhakti in our lives, to have such innocence in our lives, and this very desire can be amplified when we decide in these very moments that let me have bhakti, let me have this devotion, let me resonate. That is how the Supreme Pontiff, you see, he's the very example of this.
Yes.
When he saw this story, actually the beautiful thing I actually wanted to come to mention today is when he saw himself the story of one of the Nayanmars, of Nandanar, and what happened to him, of how he saw that film and just got inspired to go to the Chidambaram temple. Actually, it was in a recent presidential address by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. He was so beautifully sharing how after seeing the film, the Nandanar film that happened released in the 80s, and that time he saw the film and was so inspired to go to Chidambaram. And then he was working. Actually, he said the whole thing in Tamil. I don't think many people in Kailasa wanted to know the translation of what Swamiji said.
Yes.
That, from what I remember, what he said, I feel he said he was. I hope I'm translating it correctly, but he said that he just wanted the same way that Nandanar had gone to Chidambaram. The story tells that he had to go through so many trials and failures, and so many other things were coming to move him out of the path of going to Chidambaram.
So much of planning, that over planning and preemptive planning is a lot of it.
So much of this that he saw Nandanar go through, and when he was doing himself the whole preparation for him to go to Chidambaram, because he wanted to have the darshan of Chidambaram. After seeing the film, he said, I have to go, I have to see him. But he mapped the whole thing into one kind of what is the word, Navarasa, that's the word. He mapped the whole thing into the way he wanted it to happen. No, it should happen the way that Nandanar had gone to Chidambaram, as he Nandanar had to have this struggle. So he visualized all these kind of things, and when he went to his grandfather and asked for permission, I'm a grandfather, I would like to go to Chidambaram. The grandfather just called
he actually first gave all kinds of reasons which were there in the movie. He exactly calculated the whole thing of what I will say, then how he might reply. Then if he replies this way, then what will I say? If he replies that way, what will I say? The whole calculation, he prepared himself. Then went to the case, and when he asked, the moment he asked, he simply went to go.
He was just calling his assistant grandfather, called his assistant. Okay, take him, the boy wants to go and see, and then immediately the whole visualization of how Swamiji wanted it all to happen, like Nandanar's story, did not happen that way at all. And he was completely frustrated. He said he was rolling on the ground, saying, crying and saying, that's not the way it should happen. It should happen like Nandanar's story. And literally coming around, and then the same thing. I think the whole essence of what he said was that he went to Anugraha and said that, see, the way I wanted it to happen, it didn't happen. Why is it? And then he said that, I hope I'm saying it correctly, but the Anugraha told him that it should be people blowing horns and not boss agreed that you had worth, you were worthy of it, and you were given promotion. It's just exaggerated in our minds, and that's the way, and beautifully the Supreme Lord of Hinduism shared this story of how he had got the ability to go and have the Raja, and just we are getting ready, all of us all those who are joining us now, we're getting ready now to see the darshan of Nataraja, and we're just waiting the rituals to begin. It is in the space times that Yagasha Pujas are conducted in the Chidambaram temple. A large amount of kalashas are set up. Kalashas are invoking Paramashiva in the form of water, the water element. So, in rituals, all the five bhutas, the five elements are worshipped. Mantras themselves are the worship of the prana, the air element, the agni, the fire that is there represented, and we do the homa, the havan, that is the worship of Paramashiva in the form of agni, fire, sacred fire. And then the very space that you get, of course, this is held by the consciousness, the energy that is installed in the temple, but that space is also worshipped. Yeah. And then the water element, of course, is worshipped in the form of kalasha, the pot. Usually the water is kept inside, and the kalasha is ornamented like a deity, like having growth, having the coconut as a head, having the nerves, all these kind of elements are there, and it is all worship. And then finally the deity of it is made of the precious metals of the earth, and it is made, it is so beautiful, this whole Shastra. Just like how a human body will have 80% of water, right? The same way, 80% of Panchaloha deity is made of copper, which is very closely related to the water element in reality. The whole metallurgy of Vedic sciences has to be understood.
It is so deep.
It is so deep because I'm telling why. I don't know. We have to be able to research this and bring it out. Let us first begin and enter by chanting the Mahabishekam. Nam Padaye Namo Namah Kavaya Nidangene Nam Padaye Namo Namo Nidangene Yudhipade Daskara Nam Padaye Namo Namo Vanjate Parivanjate Sayunam Padaye Namo Namo Nichedave Parijataya Nam Padaye Namo Namah Sivabhyo Dikaram Satyo Mushnaram Padaye Namo Namah Simadhonaktandarabhya Prakantanam Padaye Namo Namah Ushnichiragirjaraya Gurunjanam Padaye Namo Namah Vishwabhyo Namo Namah Atanvanebhya Pradidhayebhya Namo Namah Ayachabhyo Visrajabhyo Namo Namo Ayachabhyo Namo Namah Asinebhya Shayanebhya Namo Namah Svabhyo Jaradhya Namo Namah Sishtabhyo Bhavadhya Namo Namah Sabhabhya Sabhabhadebhya Namo Namo Ashvebhyo Sabhabhadebhya Namo Namah Avyadinebhyo Vijjantebhyo Namo Namo Bhuvanabhyo Srivambhadebhyo Namo Namo Graceful Graceful Namo Namo Vradebhyo Vradabhadebhyo Namo Namo Ganebhyo Ganabhadebhyo Namo Namo Virubhebhyo Vishwarubhebhyo Namo Namo Mahadhyakshulakebhyo Namo Namo Radebhyo Radebhyo Namo Namo Radebhyo Radebhyo Namo Namo Namaste Senayebhyo राय चारुणाय च नमः शङ्काय च वरदे च नमः भूताय च भीमाय च नमो अग्रे पदाय च दूरे पदाय च नमो हन्त्रे च हनीये च नमो प्रेक्ष्येभ्यो आदिकेशेभ्यो नमस्काराय नमः शम्भवे च मयो भवे बुद्धिश्च मे भूतं च मे भूतिश्च मे वसु च मे वसतिश्च मे कर्म च मे शक्तिश्च मे तश्च मे एवश्च म इतिश्च मे गतिश्च मे अग्निश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे सोमश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे सविता च म इन्द्रश्च मे सरस्वती च म इन्द्रश्च मे पूषा च म इन्द्रश्च मे बृहस्पतिश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे मित्रश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे वरुणश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे त्वष्टा च म इन्द्रश्च मे दाता च म इन्द्रश्च मे विष्णुश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे अश्विनौ च म इन्द्रश्च मे मरुदश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे विश्वे च मे देवा इन्द्रश्च मे पृथिवी च म इन्द्रश्च मे अंतरिक्षं च म इन्द्रश्च मे द्यौश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे दिशश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे मूर्धा च म इन्द्रश्च मे प्रजापतिश्च म इन्द्रश्च मे पुंसुश्च मे रश्मिश्च मे धाभ्यश्च मे दिपदिश्च म उपापुंसुश्च मेऽन्तर्यावश्च म इन्द्रवायवश्च मे मैत्रा वरुणश्च म आश्विनश्च मे प्रतिप्रस्थानश्च मे शुक्रश्च मे मन्ते च म आग्रयणश्च मे वैश्वदेवश्च मे ध्रुवश्च मे वैश्वानरश्च म रजग्रहाश्च मे दिग्राह्याश्च म ऐन्द्राग्निश्च मे वैश्वदेवश्च मे मरुत्वरीयाश्च मे माहेन्द्रश्च म आदित्यश्च मे सावित्रश्च मे सारस्वतश्च मे पौष्णश्च मे पात्नीवतश्च मे हार्योजनश्च मे एद्मश्च मे बर्हिश्च मे वेदिश्च मे ॐ दशाङ्गं गुग्गुलो वेदं सुगन्धं सुमनोहरम् आग्रेय सर्वदेवानां धूपोऽयं प्रतिगृह्यताम् ॐ उद्दीप्य स्वजातवेदो भग्नन्निररितं मम पशोगश्च मह्यमावह जीवनं च दिशो दिश मानो हि गुंसेज्जातवेदो गामश्वं पुरुषं जगते अभिभ्रदग्नागहि श्रिया मा परिपातय दीपं सन्दर्शयामि नैवेद्यम् ॐ मधुवातारतायते मधुक्षरन्ति सिन्धवः माद्वेर्णः सन्तोषधे मधुरक्तमुदोषसि मधुमत्पार्थिवगुम्रजः मधुद्योरस्तु नः पिता मधुमानो वनस्पतिर्मधुमागुमस्तु सूर्यः माद्वेर्गावो भवन्तु नः माधो 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 अमृतं महानैवेद्यं निवेदयामि नैवेद्यानन्तरमाचमनं समर्पयामि तन्महेशाय विद्महे वाग्निशुद्धाय धीमहि तन्नः शिवः प्रचोदयात् व्योमव्योमाय विद्महे सूक्ष्मसूक्ष्माय धीमहि तन्नः सूक्ष्मः प्रचोदयात् तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्रः प्रचोदयात् श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी परमशिव शक्ति शिवकाम सुंदरी अंबा समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव आनंद नटराज स्वामिने नमः। सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परमशिवाय नमः। कर्पूर नीराजनं संदर्शयामि।
कर्पूरघोरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि।
now just witnessed the Mahabishekam to Ananda Nataraja Swami in the Kailasa in Seattle Temple. With the divine grace and blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, we have had on this auspicious Chithirai Onam under the Shravana Nakshatra in the month of Chithirai had the divine darshan and be able to witness the Abhishekam of Ananda Nataraja Swami, Devi Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Shivagama Sundari, and the deity of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the Moolavar Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva.
The nature of consciousness. The source of awareness. The relationship between our ego and the world. This has plagued us for generations. We strive to understand why we are the way we are. Why our reality is the way it is. Why our life is the way it is. But what if the way we see the world as separate from us is just an illusion? What if our consciousness exists before all experience and is not limited to the confines of our body and mind?
Today what I revealed is practically the whole Hinduism in a nutshell. If you make the column, you will see clearly most of your problems are internal non-understanding. When these internal non-understandings are cleared, life becomes Leela. You just manifest what you want. I'll make this as a realization in you all now through this initiation and darshan of Sadashiva. Nityanandeshwara Paramashiva Samarambam Nityanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. I welcome you all with my love and respects and blessings. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, Samajis, Satsangis, Srimahans, Mahans, Tanedar, Kotari, visitors, viewers, everyone sitting with us all over the world. I welcome all of you with my love and respects and blessings. Paramashiva's message directly from Maha Kailasa. Reason out, season out, hang out, chill out with the highest truth of Paramashivatva. I'll repeat. Reason out, season out, hang out, chill out with highest truths of Paramashivatva. Understand? Truths of Paramashivatva. All the constitutional rights given to each soul by the cosmos is the highest truths of Paramashivatva. See, Like each country guarantees some rights by their constitution to their citizens, cosmos guarantees certain rights to all the beings, especially to human beings. So understand, the first right, I call it as the first amendment. The first right cosmos gives you is to think, feel, experience, and live as Paramashiva, and to be treated by everyone around you, everything around you as Paramashiva. Listen, not only you have the right to think, feel, exist, experience, live as Paramashiva, you have the right, everything around you, not only human beings, even the nature around you, should treat you as a Paramashiva, and you have a right. Please understand, these are the fundamental rights guaranteed by the cosmic constitution to every being, especially to human beings, because the human beings are hardwired for these greatest truths. Reason out. When I say reason out, I mean continuously using your logic, rationality. See, power to rationalize, ability to logically analyze, ability to internalize, the power of Sankhya, the right reasoning, the right way of reasoning is the unique gift given to all human beings. Understand? Just like two hands, two eyes, two ears, Paramashiva has given us a unique power called ability to rationalize, ability to logically come to a conclusion. And please understand, your ability to rationalize and ability to come to a logical conclusion is nowhere related to your so-called degrees, universities, education. No. Ability to logically come to conclusion, ability to rationalize comes through involvement. It is simple involvement. Please understand. If you develop the ability to rationalize, logically come to conclusion, reason out, through involvement, that becomes a powerful tool for your pratyaksha pramana in Hindu tradition, there are various pramanas, the various levels of developing your being for enlightenment. In Shat Darshanas, various pramanas are described. Understand? Purvamimamsa by Jaimini, Uttaramimamsa by Vyasa, Nyaya by Gautama, Vaiseshika by Ganata, Padanjala by Yoga Sutras by Patanjali. The various darshanas, it's actually 6. Nyaya, Vaiseshika, Yoga, Sankhya, Uttaramimamsa, Purvamimamsa. Purvamimamsa is by Jaimini. Jaimini is the father of Purvamimamsa Tattva, and Vyasa is the father of Uttaramimamsa Tattva, and Kapila is the father of the Sankhya Tattva. Gautama is the father of Nyaya Tattva. Patanjali is the father of Yoga Tattva. And Ganada is the father of Vaiseshika Tattva. This Shat Darshana Tattvas, please understand. Each of these darshanas, each of these darshanas is centered on certain kind of reasoning out. The right reasoning the Sat Darshanas and the Tattva, the thought current, the methodology of reasoning out described in the Sat Darshanas. I was explaining about it. Sankhya by Kapila, Yoga by Patanjali, Nyaya by Gautama, Vaiseshika by Ganata, Purvamimamsa by Jaimini, Uttaramimamsa by Vyasa. This Sat Darshanas teaches a very powerful method, way of thinking, logical reasoning. I tell you, developing logical reasoning is very good to keep your life excited. I tell you, if you use your reasoning ability, your reasoning ability as a corrupt, bad, cheap negotiation strategy with life and others, you will constantly feel suffocated, deprived, cheated. Listen. If you use your ability to reason out, your ability to logically come to a conclusion with tremendous violence, anger, just to fight with others, cheap, corrupt strategy to negotiate with life and others, you will feel suffocated, deprived, cheated, frustrated forever. Listen. Ability to reason out is the instrument, tool In Sanskrit, we use the word antakarana. Buddhi is gifted to you by Paramashiva. First, develop that reasoning ability and reason out the great truth. You are Paramashiva. Listen. If you reason out, you are Paramashiva. It's a conscious process. You can't just say, oh, I believe I am Paramashiva, so let me immediately manifest it. Understand? Your belief will become solidified cognition if you start reasoning out. Reasoning out with a fair reasoning out. I am not even saying you should look at the whole life with the eyes of the fairy tale, with the la la land, with the idea of the oasis. No, I am not even giving you some impossible, impractical cognitions. No. Reason out reasonably. Do not use your ability to reason constantly to negotiate with others and life. Don't use your logic, your ability to reason out in a cheap, cunning strategy method, a strategizing tool to negotiate with life, with others, with the world. A small story. My friend and his wife stayed in a hotel, got a bill for $90. He screamed, for what? $90. The desk clerk said, for room and board, sir. My friend said, room and board? We did not eat here. The clerk said, it was here for you. If you did not get it, it's your fault. If you did not eat it, it's your fault. My friend said, you take $40 and I am charging you $50 for fooling around with my wife. The clerk said, I never touched your wife. I have not even spoken to your wife. My friend said, it was there for you. If you did not take it, it's your fault. Understand? Do not use your ability to reason out as a cheap strategy for negotiation or a tool to negotiate in a cheap way. Please listen. Some of the Nitya Satsangis who attend regularly satsangs may be wondering after a long time, a small story from Swamiji. Listen, actually in Savigalpa Samadhi, I was seeing the Kailasa visually. See, in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, there is no two. There is no seen and the seer. It's all one, pure consciousness. But in the next, the Savikalpa Samadhi, the vision is seen. Inside me only, a part of me is Paramashiva, part of me is Ganapati, part of me is Paramashiva Shakti, part of me is Subramanya, part of me is Kailasa. Like a, inside me, the whole thing is seen. In Savikalpa Samadhi, I was seeing Paramashiva was giving the great truths, the teachings. Suddenly, he said something. I still can see what he said, but I'm not able to map it to human language. Something like one chana, he uttered something. The whole Kailasa was laughing. Paramashiva was laughing and Devi was laughing. Everyone was laughing. Whole Kailasa was laughing, roaring and laughing. And I saw, this is the way exactly my laughing temple used to be. When I started giving my satsangs and classes in Adi Kailasa. And of course, I know it's again going to restart in this upgraded new beginning. I have lots of stories for you guys. Now, listen. If you see, you can see very clearly how your ability to reason out is being used by you violently. How you add so much violence to it. It is like if you get a knife in your hand and if you have a violence inside and knife in your hand, how you will act. Same way you can see your ability to reason out is being used by you with so much violence. Listen, all frustration, all feeling suffocated, all feeling exploited is nothing but you using your ability to reason out with violence. That is why I insist not having violence inside you. If you have violence inside you and expect others to suffer, you are a fool. You drink poison and expect your enemy to die. No, it is not going to happen. I tell you, bring absolute peace. You cannot immediately bring love, compassion, all that. First, you can only bring peace inside you. Bring peace, shanti. You will see your ability to reason out, your ability to come to logical conclusion will be used by you properly. Listen. Knife in the hands of a compassionate doctor can save a person. The same knife in the hands of a violent fellow can kill others, can even kill himself when he is too frustrated by killing too many people. Finally, he kills himself. The ability to reason out, that ability is sacred, because every day you go on reasoning out about yourself, about your life, about your past, about your future. You are constantly in the process of reasoning out. That reasoning out is one of the powerful tools. Whether you want it or not, just like your breathing, reasoning out is part of your being, the core being. Reasoning out is verily part of you, just like your breathing. Manomaya kosa, constant reasoning out, is verily part of you, like pranamaya kosa, constantly breathing. Just like breathing is part of you, and reasoning out, logically coming to conclusions, is verily part of you. All I am trying to tell you is, I am not asking you to approach life with so-called positivity, love, compassion. I tell you, love, compassion, positivity, everything cannot be generated. Only peace can be generated. Only peace can be achieved. From peace, all this manifests. From peace, in your inner peace, Shanti, Paramashantatva, love, compassion, everything starts manifesting. Whether prayer or meditation, love, compassion, even powerful cognition, it all manifests from your Shantatva, Paramashantatva. Work on Paramashantatva. Listen again and again. I am repeating. You trying to build love. You may build a loving character, but love itself can't be built. You can build kind of a skin deep love. If you are not peaceful inside, your love will not be permanent. So first things first. First things first. First thing you can achieve for real is peace. Work for your peace by unclutching. Unclutching is the most sublime, subtle, powerful way of reasoning out. Most powerful, subtle way of coming to logical conclusions is unclutching. I tell you, in the beginning, unclutching may look like you are pushing your whole reasoning away. But when you start tasting the unclutching, you will understand unclutching gives you the most powerful reasonable reasoning. Listen, in unclutching, the steam of violence inside you is released. Tremendous peace is brought inside you. The Paramashantatva, peace. In that peace only you will see your logical ability to come to conclusion, your ability to come to logical conclusions, your power to reason out is separate from you, and you can handle that process reasonably, logically, be logically logical, reasonably reasoning it out. Reason out reasonably. Be logically logical. Unfortunately, you are always trying to use your ability to reason out, to your ability to logically come to conclusion, to negotiate with the life, to bargain with the life. You think only by hard negotiation you will get best out of life, and you suffocate others and you, and literally destroy the life. I tell you, life happens to you by the depth of the peace inside you, and from the peace, the love which grows. From that peace, meditation which grows. From that peace, consciousness which grows. From that peace, compassion which grows. From that peace, the bliss which grows. That is the productivity of your life. Continuously reason out how you are the ultimate Paramashiva and how you strangle yourself with your ability to reason out, with your ability to come to logical conclusions. See, your ability to come to a logical conclusion, if you start using it violently towards others, you will start using the same thing violently towards you. And you will be constantly unhappy with yourself and unhappy with others. Frustrated with yourself and frustrated with others. It is too simple. Just remember the story I told just now. The desk clerk asked money for the breakfast, the food you did not eat. Then immediately you try to ask the money from him for the acts he did not do. Listen, it may be like a joke, but look in how many times you are playing this crucial, I should say that, this cruel joke in many crucial moments of your life with you and with others. Just sit and pen down 5 moments. Listen, today try to do this. just 5 moments when you played this cruel joke during the crucial moments of your life with yourself and with others. I'll tell you a very simple way how my reasoning out functions in a very simple way. I'll give you one simple example. When I am unclutched and sitting in samadhi, sometimes with the eyes open, my disciples come and present various situations and issues where I need to make decisions. During very critical moments, crucial moments, or emergency situations, they ask me, Swamiji, don't you ever feel insecure about the future and how things are going to happen, how things are going to be? Don't you feel insecure ever? I tell you, listen carefully. I am giving you exactly as I reason out. The very way I reason out, I am presenting it to you. Listen carefully. See, in cinema, there are various ways of storytelling, like starting with a simple introduction, then slowly taking it to the intense part of the story, then finally climax. Or first opening the climax, then explaining the climax through flashback, justifying the climax through flashback. So all of you understand how I look at my life, you know. If you write my life, the first line, first statement is born in Arunachala, Tiruonam. Hey, climax is over. That line is the climax. Over. Now I have to win. My life has to be victorious. Nothing else can happen. Nothing else can be done. Everything else happening after the first line is flashback justifying it. It is like you pick up a thriller novel, you finish reading the climax, the last 2 pages, then read the novel from the first page, you know what is the climax and you will not have insecurity, fear. Because whether when you read the thriller novel or a movie, when you watch a movie, you travel with hero. You identify yourself with the hero and you travel with hero. The insecurity hero goes through, you also go through. But if you know the climax, if you know the end of the thriller movie or a thriller novel, if you know the climax, you will not have the insecurity. You will just go through the movie and enjoy frame by frame the work involved in that movie. You will enjoy that. So be very clear. The first line of my biography, born in Arunachala, Tiruonam, over, climax is done. After that, everything is told, everything done, everything shown, everything is just a flashback. After that one line, is born in Tiruvannamalai. அதுக்கப்புறம் என்னடா சொல்லுவீங்க என்னை பத்தி? என்ன சொன்னாலும் அது ஃபிளாஷ்பேக் தான்டா. Say in any field, for people to measure them, for example, if a politician, political leader, how you will measure him? How many times he was prime minister or chief minister or a president? He was in power. And what is his vote bank? Same way, in any field celebrity, you will measure based on how many movies he acted, how many super hits, blockbuster super hits he gave, how many national awards, international awards he got. That's where you will measure them. In spiritual field, to gauge somebody, to measure somebody, the fundamental requirements are powerful Guru Parampara. Guru Parampara, unbroken lineage of enlightened beings. First. Second, a powerful spiritual ecosystem which groomed him. Third, when he manifested all the great truths given to him by Guru Parampara and the ecosystem as his own experience. Fourth, how he manifests the multi-dimensions and powers of that enlightenment. All these four, peak of all these four which I uttered now, powerful enlightened master's lineage, powerful ecosystem, ability to make the person manifest the enlightenment as his own experience, and ability to make that person manifest multi-dimensions of enlightenment. In all four, Arunachala is the peak and highest possible available brand. So when you say the first word, Tiruvannamalai Pirandar, born in Arunachala, Tiruvannamalai, over. Climax is done. Climax is over. Now it is no more a thriller movie or thriller novel. Now it is all flashback justifying the climax. Flashback justifying the climax. So I know for sure I have to win. I know for sure I will be successful. I know for sure I have to do the work Paramashiva gave me. Understand. The logic, the way I reason out my existence consciously, I opened it up. Don't try to tell it is positive thinking. No. I just know a simple, reasonable way of reasoning out the ultimate truths. You may try to give a different name, confidence, bhakti, is trust on Arunachala. All whatever names you want to give, whatever brandings you want to do, I tell you, even if you reasonably reason out, Stop hurting yourself with the self-doubt, self-denial, self-hatred. If you use your reasoning with a self-doubt, hurt yourself constantly, then self-doubt will become self-denial. And the self-denial will naturally lead to self-hatred. Self-doubt will lead to self-hatred and self-denial both simultaneously. So understand, reasoning out reasonably will make you naturally peaceful, blissful, loving, caring, compassionate, absolutely life positive without even you thinking you are life positive. See, if you think you are beautiful, your beauty is ugly. Over. If you don't even think you are beautiful, others think you are beautiful. That is the most beautiful thing. You should not think you are beautiful. Others should think you are beautiful. Same way, people who live around you should think you are life positive. You should not even think you are life positive. That is the real life positivity. People around you should feel, oh God, I know him for so many years. What kind of a stamina and life positivity he is carrying? This happens when you start logically logical, reasonably reasoning out. Listen, we all know the meaning of the words uttered. But when we pick up fight, how we twist, listen carefully. This is for all the Kailasavasis and everyone. Just sit with yourself and see how you twist the words during the interaction with the life. One more story. I have one more story. Miss D'Angelo was a none too bright girl. Listen, you should enjoy every line of the story. Miss D'Angelo was a none too bright girl who had moved to Hollywood with the dreams of becoming a star. She did not find fame or glory, but she did encounter plenty of men willing to enjoy her plentiful charms, and eventually she found herself named in a divorce case. When it was her turn on the stand, the prosecutor came forward. Miss D'Angelo, the wife of the defendant. Listen, Miss D'Angelo, the wife of the defendant, has identified you as the other woman in her husband's life. Now, do you admit that you went to the Price Right motel with this Mr. Evans? Well, Yes, acknowledged Miss D'Angelo with a sniff, but I could not help it. Could not help it? Asked the lawyer derisively. How is that? She replied, Mr. Evans deceived me. Lawyer asked, exactly what do you mean? She replies, see, when we signed in, he told the motel clerk, I was his wife. Listen, you all know how the words are used and what they mean in every situation. D'Angelo knows. When Mr. Evans tells the motel clerk, she was his wife, what he means and what is the meaning. Can that word stand in the court of law as the wife? No. And she knows. Evans does not mean what he says. Many times, knowing with your reasoning logic, this is not going to be the case the way people present things in front of you. You jump into the action due to your stress. Listen. Now I am giving you one of the very powerful cognition. Many time in the life, keeping quiet is the powerful strategy. Powerful Brahmastra. Because many time, you can't keep quiet. You can't silence your restlessness to be productive or the squeeze the juice, maximum juice out of life. See, this one life theory makes man mad. He has to squeeze maximum out of life this 100 years. So what he does? He programs himself, go on to do. Many times, because you can't keep quiet, you do something and end up in a mess. To repair that mess, you may have to spend some time, years or even life. Many times, just because you can't keep quiet, your restlessness inside, either the violence, wrong logic of feeling exploited, or the wrong logic you have to squeeze the life and take the maximum juice out of life. You do actions, you take decisions actually to be maximum productive. You do things in your agitation, but you land up in making mess, different chaos. You create so much of mess in your life. To clean up that mess, you may be spending 5 years, 10 years. Sometimes in those moments, if you kill somebody, you literally pay your whole life to repair it. I tell you, I can give you one assurance. If you learn to keep quiet when you need to keep quiet. See, in some of the business deals, some home or a mall, when a owner sells, he says, if you are the buyer, if the buyer is going to sell after a few years, first right should be given to the same guy. He will say that the first right to buy. You should first ask me. If I say I am not able to buy, I don't want, then you can give it to others. Same way, during your decision-making process, always keep the unclutching or keeping quiet as the first option. During every agitated moment, every depressed moment, every painful moment, every moment of suffering, keep this as a first option. What is it? Keeping quiet. Silence. Keep that as a first option. I tell you, many times, keeping quiet or patience is best productive strategy during wars, crisis, and many situations in your life. Only if you feel the keeping quiet is not going to work and you really need to do something, do. Otherwise, keep keeping quiet as the first option. I tell you, most of the time, just because you can't keep quiet, your inner restlessness, wrong reasoning out, pushes you to do something. You do something and end up spending years or your whole life cleaning up that mess. Cleaning up for that mess. Reason out that you are Paramashiva. Next truth. Season out with the truth you are Paramashiva. Season out means even when you go through ups and downs, success and failures, good and bad, right and wrong, even when you consider your life is becoming mess, continuously you are collapsing and life is falling apart, even during those seasons, hold on to the truth you are Paramashiva and look from that powerful cognition you are Paramashiva and operate. Listen, in the West, 4 seasons. In Hindu tradition, it is always 6 seasons. Shat Rutu, we call it 6 seasons. All Shat Rutus, all 6 seasons. Sit yourself with the powerful cognition you are Paramashiva and go on operating from that. Please understand, in Hindu tradition, when you manifest Archavatara, Archavatara means making a stone idol into God. When that process is done, it's a very beautiful process. The Acharya who does Prana Pratishta, he will initiate the deity with the Bija mantra of the deity. For example, if it is a Shivalinga, that Bija mantra, Om Om Shivaya Namaha, there's a Bija mantra. He will initiate the deity into the Bija mantra and leave the deity in the open air for all 6 seasons. The deity has to be with the Bija mantra sitting all 6 seasons. After all the 6 seasons in the open air, if there is no crack in the deity, it is ready for the next Prana Pratishta process. Seasoning out. Even the stone is seasoned out with a great truth to become God. Same way for you. If you sit with the truth and season out yourself, you will become Nijavatara. This is the science of God making. Listen. Hinduism has this unique tradition of science of God making, making the God enter into a deity as Archavatara or enter into a human being as Nijavatara. Not even human being, it can enter even into any being. So understand, sit with this truth. You are Paramashiva for all 6 seasons. Shat Rutus. That is what I call seasoning out. When I say Shat Rutus, all 6 seasons, not just summer, winter, I mean inner seasons. Peak joy, worst suffering. In all various moods, season out yourself with this truth. Listen. In one frequency, what you feel as peace becomes good in the next frequency. Actually, from peace only all auspiciousness starts. That's why all Vedas, after they utter the ultimate sound Om, the next word they utter is Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. All Veda mantras conclude with this Shanti. Begin with this Shanti. Because from peace only, all the auspicious things can grow. From peace, the peace in the next level frequency becomes feel-good feeling. Then next level frequency, it becomes pleasant. Then next level frequency, it becomes joy. Then next level frequency, it becomes ecstasy. Then next level frequency, it becomes bliss. Then next level frequency, it becomes eternal bliss. Whether this season of goodness or the seasons of bad. I think bad I don't need to explain much. All of you know. Only good I need to explain so much. In all seasons, decide to stick to Paramashivatva. Operate from that. Reason out season out the truths of Paramashivatva during all the inner seasons. Stick to the truth or truths of Paramashivatva. All the constitutional rights given to you, the first amendment of the cosmic constitution, reason out those truths of Paramashivatva and season out with those truths of Paramashivatva. Listen, I gave you one example how I look at my life. The first line itself is a climax. After that, everything told is only a flashback, justification for that climax. And I tell you, all of you, when you use reasonably reasoning way, reasonable reasoning out, logically logical, when you start being open, simple, straightforward, with your life, you will all find the simple flow of your life and you will know the climax. Nothing to be stressed, nothing to shake you, nothing to make you collapse or nothing to make you move away from your conscious existence. In Tamil, there is a beautiful statement. Tannilai thazhamayum thalndakkal uyir vazhamayum manam enappadum. Means not losing out of your consciousness, your first person's integrity. Your first person's integrity. Let me repeat. Means knowing who you are, what you stand for, and what you are, and standing with it is life. Understand? Reasoning out and seasoning out with the powerful truths of Paramashivatva. Next is hang out and chill out with Paramashivatva, the highest truths of life. See, Ma Nitya Mahaguhambananda is messaging. I'll read out her message. Ma Nitya Mahaguhambananda. In YouTube, she is messaging. Swamiji, I saw you healing me during MRI scan. Doctor asked me to get MRI done. He was worried for me going through a surgery. He now says, I will not need any surgery in this life. Listen, this is our message, Guhambananda's message. And the truth I am going to explain, hanging out with the higher truths. It has a connection. Listen, Mahaguhambananda, she has certain feeling connection, devotion, Guru Bhakti. Even when doctor says she need MRI scan, even when she is going through the MRI scan, she was hanging out with me, not with her insecurities and fears. That is what I call build Guru Bhakti when you can. It will be useful when you can't. Build Guru Bhakti when you can. It will be useful when you can't. Build feeling connection when you can. It will be useful for you when you can't. Mahaguhambananda, she built it when she can. So it is now useful for her when she can't. Hanging out means making the undercurrent of your life as this Paramashivatva, higher principles. See, I can give you some 10 higher principles. You are Paramashiva. Even when you don't remember it, you are Paramashiva. And this idea of karma, what you do comes back to you. What you do comes back to you. If you don't remember yourself as Paramashiva, if you remember yourself as Paramashiva, what you did when you are not remembering you as a Paramashiva will not come back to you. Listen. This is what karma mukti. I am not defining karma to bind you. I am defining karma to liberate you. Please understand. All my definitions still now, I have defined at least 10,000 key powerful truths of Hinduism, like God, Vedanta, Veda, knowledge, Vidya, Vairagya, renunciation, Shanta, Mangala, at least 10,000. Every definition is focused on liberating you, giving you solution. The definition itself with the focus of liberating you. So I am defining karma. Listen. Ordinary definition, all of you know about karma is what you do comes back to you. But I tell you, what you do comes back to you only if you remain in that same mood or consciousness. Many times there is a sketch used, like a card. One person will be sitting and he drops the card and it goes round and comes and falls on him. You all may be understanding what I am saying. If you just push one card and it goes round and comes back and last card falls on you. You understand karma in this way only. I tell you, you remain in that same consciousness. If you raise your consciousness, I am Paramashiva, you can't come back to me. When this was committed, I was ordinary person, ordinary man. Now I am Paramashiva, so you can't come back to me. That is why the initiation into the higher truth, when you start reasoning out and seasoning out with the higher truths, you are called Dvija, reborn, newborn. Understand the second truth about life, karma. no karma affects you if you raise your consciousness. The action done in certain consciousness, inner space, only that inner space suffers the reaction. If that inner space is evolved, the reactions don't come to you. The reactions don't come to you. Reason out this great truth. Season out with this great truth. Listen. This is the fundamental of the Kailasa jurisprudence. I don't know how many of you know, in Manusmriti, if somebody commits a crime, like a murder or stealing, and if he takes sannyas, he can't be punished. That's Dharma Shastra. If he takes sannyas and lives the sannyas space, he can't be punished. I am making this as a law in Kailasa. Because Kailasa is functioning as per constitution of the cosmos. Listen carefully. Dharma Shastras are constitution of the cosmos. It's a jurisprudence of the cosmos. Everything I am saying, everything I am asking you to do is nothing but introducing the Kailasa culture to you even while you are in planet Earth. So when you go to Kailasa, you will not have a cultural shock. So many people asked me, when I went to US, first time when I went to US, I think I was 25. 2003, I went to US first time. And I am born in 78. 78 to 2003. So 25. People asked me, Swamiji, don't you feel the cultural shock? You are born and brought up in a village and you are here suddenly in a different country, different kind of people, meeting them, giving them classes, solutions, lessons on enlightenment. Don't you feel the cultural shock? I said, no, because in the young age itself, my gurus have trained me, making me meet the Westerners, foreigners who come to Tiruonnamalai. Because I have seen enough of people from all over the world who come to Tiruonnamalai for enlightenment, I don't feel any cultural shock. I did not have a cultural shock when I started traveling all over the world. Same way, I am training you for the Kailasa lifestyle, constitution of Kailasa, jurisprudence of Kailasa, lifestyle of Kailasa. So when you go there, you will not have cultural shock. You know the traffic rules of Kailasa. Listen, karma as per the cosmos is the inner space which committed the karma gets the karma back. If you have changed, evolved with a higher inner space, you will not have that karma. You will not have that suffering. This great truth, reason it out, season it out, you will really see how whatever you may go through in your life, the cosmic constitution still holds good anywhere you may live. If you reason out and season out with this great truth, you can understand if you reason out and season out with this truth, you can see clearly. Whenever you raise your consciousness, the effects of your old karma does not touch you, doesn't impact you. I have a sketch to show you. Just see it. This is the way you understand karma normally. But actually, after pushing the first board, if you walk out, if you get out, it will not fall on you. That's all. If you continue to sit there, then it will fall on you. All of you understand what I am saying? Usually this is the picture shown to you to explain karma. What goes comes around. If you are stupidly sitting and shitting in that same place with the same inner space, if you have a simple intelligence, shift your cognition. Start reasoning out and seasoning out and hanging out and chilling out with the higher truths. You will not get the karma back to you. You will not get the results of the action done by you. So understand this. This is the usual picture given to all of you to understand about the karma. If you sit after pushing the first board or the first brick, if you continue to sit and shit in the same place, the last brick will fall on you. But if you shift your inner space, the last brick will not fall on you. What goes comes around. But if you are not sitting in that round, it will not come back to you. It will not come back to you. These powerful truths, reason out with it, season out with it, hang out with it, chill out with it. You will manifest Paramashivatva. First thing, understand. The initiation into Paramashivatva, when you start reasoning out and seasoning out, the first thing will happen is all your karmas will stop touching you, harassing you. See, when you start the pranayama, the first change will happen in your body is your body will become colorful. Like eyes will become more dark. The white part of the eyes will become more white. The lips will become more rosy. The nails will become more shining. All the body parts will become more colorful. The natural color will get intensified. Same way, when you start reasoning out and seasoning out with the Paramashivatva, higher truths, the first effect will be all your past karmas will stop affecting you. The effect of your past karma will drastically reduce on you. suddenly your health will become wonderful. Your inner space, your wealth, your relationships, everything. The past karmas will lose its power over you. Listen. Listen intensely and contemplate. I'll continue to give the satsang in just few minutes. It is just whole system is getting into samadhi. I'll settle and then start again. Just give me few minutes break. Stay tuned. Om. Listen. Sorry for the spiritual glitch. I can't call it technical glitch. And actually, spirituality is not a glitch. It's like a... So, sorry for the glitch. Listen. Today I was explaining first about what is reasoning out, seasoning out, hanging out, chilling out with Paramashivatva truths. Paramashivatva truths I am explaining. First, you are Paramashiva. Second, you have a right to feel, exist, think, experience, live as Paramashiva. Third, you have a right to be treated as Paramashiva by others and life. Fourth, this karma theory. Listen, this karma. The results of your karma will come back to you only if you continue to stay in the same inner space with which you performed that karma. If you raise your inner space, the effects of the karma you performed while you were in the lower space does not come to you. It's the truth. Reason out, season out, hang out, chill out with this truth, you will understand. That is why Manuvadi Dharmashastras, from Manu, all Dharmashastras, does not punish when someone becomes a sannyasi for the karmas he committed in his pre-sannyas, pre-monastic life. For example, Valmiki, I don't know how many number of murders Valmiki committed, but he did not go to hell or he did not suffer. Once he raised his consciousness with the initiation of Narada, his whole karma did not come back to him. Arunagirinathar. He was not only womanizer and he has done everything possible. Nothing came to him after he got initiated by Subramanya. All the karmas did not come back to him when he was initiated by Subramanya, when his inner space changed. I can give you the huge list. Next thing, listen. When you start reasoning out and seasoning out and hanging out with the Paramashiva truths, extraordinary confidence about life, exorbitant positivity, love for life will manifest. From that love for life only, you become non-violent. You understand the value of life. So listen. Understanding the value of life makes you fulfilled, successful in anything you do. Whether you are a doctor, engineer, politician, leader, spiritual seeker, anything. If you understand value of life, you are fulfilled. Listen. Understanding the value of life makes you conscious about your existence. So I'll continue in further satsangs. Now, the homework for today, watch this satsang again, at least 2 times, and sit and pen down, reason out every truth I revealed with the right way of reasoning. With the right way of reasoning. Understand? Come to conclusions with the